Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was untouchable once. 2 Oscars. Every studio wanted his name on their projects. Then came the accusations. Multiple men stepped forward with stories of sexual misconduct spanning years. The fallout was instant and brutal. Films cut him out entirely. Netflix fired him from House of Cards, erasing his lead character from its final season. One of its biggest stars vanished overnight. Spacey fought back in court. He was acquitted in both criminal and civil cases. But acquittal didn't equal forgiveness. In 2020, an arbitrator ruled he violated sexual harassment policies, ordering him to pay $31 million to MRC. Studios avoided him. Legal fees drained his fortune. Years later, he resurfaced quietly, taking roles in small European productions, a Lifetime Achievement Award abroad. But the comeback felt hollow. He claims to owe millions in legal fees. His Baltimore home was sold to avoid foreclosure. The legend remained, but the trust was gone. Monique was unstoppable. Her performance in Precious earned her an Oscar and universal praise. When she refused to promote the film internationally without fair compensation, Hollywood turned on her. They labeled her difficult. Offers dried up. Calls stopped coming. She wasn't invited to the same table she had earned a seat at. Monique didn't stay silent. She spoke openly about racism, sexism, and pay inequality in the industry. Named powerful figures like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels. Many said she burned bridges. She said she was telling the truth. Then came the Netflix battle. In 2017, they offered her $500,000 for a comedy special. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock had signed deals for $20 million each. Amy Schumer secured $13 million. Monique sued for discrimination. In 2022, Netflix settled. Within months, they announced a new comedy special. The company that lowballed her now partnered with her. She didn't bow to Hollywood. She forced it to negotiate. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was once Hollywood's favorite rebel. Then came the court battles. Accusations of domestic abuse from ex-wife Amber Heard. The internet divided instantly. For years, every headline was a war of words, recordings, and leaked documents. Studios backed away. Disney dropped him from Pirates 6. His image, once mysterious and magnetic, turned toxic. But Depp refused to vanish. He fought publicly, openly, brutally. When he won his defamation trial in 2022, the tide shifted. Fans rallied behind him. Hollywood stayed cautious, but Europe welcomed him back. He starred in Jean du Barry, opening the 2023 Cannes Film Festival to standing ovations. Depp's comeback isn't a full return, it's a reclamation. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf grew up in the spotlight, but fame hit hard. What followed was chaos, public breakdowns, arrests, violent outbursts, and accusations of abuse from former partners. The same industry that once celebrated his intensity turned away. His name became synonymous with scandal. Projects were dropped. Studios distanced themselves. LaBeouf turned to art. He created experimental films, performance pieces, and deeply personal scripts. His film Honey Boy, inspired by his childhood and troubled relationship with his father, earned critical acclaim. But more allegations followed. In 2020, musician FKA Twigs filed a lawsuit accusing him of sexual battery and assault. LaBeouf was dropped by CAA. He turned to faith, converting to Catholicism and embracing sobriety. His apologies were public but complicated, a mix of remorse and self-defense. In 2024, Francis Ford Coppola cast him in Megalopolis. He walked the Cannes red carpet alongside the director. Some filmmakers still back him. Most don't. His legal battles remain unresolved. Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan didn't stay quiet. She became one of the first voices of #MeToo, loud, fearless, and unfiltered. She named Harvey Weinstein when no one else would. She broke the silence around Hollywood's abuse culture, but truth came with a price. The industry turned on her. Roles disappeared, agents dropped her, powerful people worked to discredit her. McGowan didn't back down. She fought lawsuits, exposed cover-ups, revealed how deep the rot went. When Hollywood closed its doors, she built her own platform. She launched #RoseArmy, released her memoir Brave, and shifted to books and documentaries. She no longer chased validation from the system she exposed. Rose McGowan rejected the entire game. She walked away and never looked back. Army Hammer. Armie Hammer looked like Hollywood's next star, handsome, charming, flawless on screen. Then everything collapsed. In 2021, private messages leaked online. Dark, graphic fantasies about domination and control. The internet exploded. Headlines turned his name into scandal. Studios dropped him. His agency cut ties. His career was erased in real time. In 2023, the LA District Attorney declined to press criminal charges, citing insufficient evidence. It didn't matter. The court of public opinion had already delivered its verdict. Hammer disappeared. His net worth plummeted from $16 million to $100,000. Years passed before he surfaced. Quietly. Small indie projects. What remained was a man piecing together a life stripped of illusion. His fall was messy, raw, and painfully human. The kind of downfall you can't act your way out of. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was a superstar before she was 20. Mean Girls, Freaky Friday, The Parent Trap, every studio wanted her. Then came chaos, partying, DUIS rehab. The media followed her every step. Hollywood labeled her unreliable, offers stopped, roles vanished. By her mid-20s, she was a tabloid headline, not a movie star. But time and distance gave her perspective. Lohan moved abroad, focused on recovery, stayed quiet. Years later, Netflix gave her another shot. Falling for Christmas marked her official return in 2022. She's now signed for more projects. No scandals, no spectacle. The same face that once symbolized downfall now represents resilience. She grew up in front of the same cameras that tried to destroy her. Katherine Hagel. Katherine Hagel spoke up. That was her crime. She called out sexism, bad scripts, and brutal work hours. Hollywood labeled her difficult. Katherine criticized Knocked Up as sexist and withdrew her Emmy nomination for Grey's Anatomy, claiming weak material. Shonda Rhimes enforced a no assholes policy, and Hagel became its symbol. Doors closed and roles vanished. For years, Hagel floated on the edge of relevance. Small roles, indie projects, near silence. But time moved on. The culture shifted. What once made her difficult now made her brave. She took back control, started producing her own shows, led major TV series like Firefly Lane. Hegel's comeback wasn't loud. It was deliberate. She didn't just return. She endured and outlasted the label meant to bury her. Cuba Gooding. Cuba Gooding Jr. once had it all. An Oscar winner, a crowd favorite. Then came the accusations. In 2019, he was arrested for allegedly groping a woman at a bar. Over 30 women stepped forward with similar stories. Each one added another crack to his image. The headlines multiplied. The roles disappeared. Hollywood quietly erased him. Gooding faced the system but took the safest way out. In 2022, he pleaded to lesser charges, avoided prison, and settled lawsuits behind closed doors. But the damage lingered. With major studios out of reach, he turned elsewhere. Faith-based films, low-budget projects, stories of redemption, no grand apology tour, no flashy comeback. Just a man trying to rebuild in the shadows. His downfall wasn't dramatic, it was gradual. A fade, not a fall. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was untouchable once. Then came the tapes. In 2006, a drunk driving arrest exposed an anti-Semitic rant. The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. 4 years later, more recordings surfaced. Racism, misogyny. The backlash was instant. Studios cut him loose. Agents walked away. But Gibson doesn't fold. He directed, produced, funded his own work. Years of silence turned into a slow, methodical climb. Then came Hacksaw Ridge in 2016. A war film that reminded everyone why he was great. The movie earned critical acclaim, awards, and a seat back at the table. Still, forgiveness never came easy. For many, the damage was permanent, yet Gibson didn't need universal approval. With enough time, money, and talent, even the worst scandals fade. Hollywood forgives what it can profit from. Flawed, divisive,